What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're gonna talk some football because the Houston Texans have hired their new general manager, Brian Gaines. It hasn't been officially reported, it's not signed on the dotted line yet, but all arrows and signs have been pointing to Brian Gaines, who used to be part of the Houston Texans organization prior for the past 3 years up until last year. Was going to be once again part of the Houston Texans, and it looks like it's extremely about to be that way. So, what's the good, the bad, the pros, the cons about this whole new general managership? I'm about to break it down to you. We're going to start off with some good news. We're going to start off with the good. So we're going to start off with the good things with bringing in Brian Gaines as the new general manager. The number one thing, the most important thing, is that Rick Smith is no longer the general manager. Now, let me start off by saying prayers to his wife, Tiffany Smith, and the whole Smith family. Hope that Tiffany beats cancer. Like I said in my last video, I'm dead serious. I don't play that. So don't get in my comment section talking ill will about somebody. I don't play that. I'm saying from a strictly football standpoint, I don't want Rick Smith to be part of player personnel. I don't want him to be the general manager. Him still being the VP, the Vice President of Football Operations, which he says that's the title he's going to remain. Hope he does. Hope he still has a job. I don't never want anybody to lose their job, especially with him going through what he's going through with his wife and his family. They gonna need everything that they can get, all the help and the assistance that they can get, being in the city of Houston with the cancer research, so his wife Tiffany can beat this horrible, horrible monster that is cancer, who takes a lot of people's lives, year in, year out, day in and day out. So first off, by saying prayers to Rick Smith, his wife, and the whole Smith family. Hope everything's well. My thing is, I just don't want Rick Smith being part of player personnel. I don't want him drafting, signing, re-signing, not re-signing players. I just don't want him to control a roster. Anything else he can do, anything else he does with the Texan organization is fine. I just don't want him controlling the roster. So that's the number one thing. The number two thing is that now we have a general manager and a coach who are basically married now. They're married at the hip because Bill O'Brien is going to get a contract extension. The report says it's probably to year 2022. So, and that's also the same contract that Brian Gaines is supposed to be reportedly getting. Again, these are all reports, nothing's official, but both of them will be here to year 2022. So, which means they right there. They married at the hip right now. Like you ain't, unless something crazy happens, like what happened with Rick Smith, that he had to step down because of his wife. Unless something happens that one of these are going to step down because something else outside of football is the reason why they have to step down, you're going to have the same head coach and the same general manager until you don't have neither one of them. Which means you're not going to have the situation which you had with Rick Smith and Kubiak, where you fire your head coach, but you keep your general manager. Or you fire your general manager and you keep your head coach. They're going to go in and out together. And then that's enough time. That's 4 years. That's enough time to judge a draft class. Actually judge his first 2 draft classes. Because, you know, with free agency, your free agents have to hit that year. You sign them in the spring, that fall, they have to hit. With drafts, because they come into the NFL, you know, you might not got the person that you really wanted because somebody else got them before you and stuff like that. It takes a while for them to develop. So it takes them a year or 2 just to even play, especially when they're later round picks. By the year 3 and year 4, you should see these Pro Bowl, All-Pro type players. That's when they should become All-Pros and Pro Bowls. So, especially, he's really going to need some time because this year he don't have a first or second round pick. So he's going to have to make money with lower round picks, with people who have the greater of them not succeeding in the NFL is higher because they're 3rd and 4th and 5th round picks. They're not 1st and 2nd overall. They're not 1st and 2nd round picks. So it's going to be a little bit tough. That's why he's going to hit on his picks because we don't have a 1st or 2nd round pick, and he's going to have to hit in free agency. But 4 years is going to be enough time to get this draft class and then next year's draft class to see exactly, is he a good evaluator of talent through the draft and through free agency. That's enough time. That's also enough time for Deshaun Watson. That's 5 years of Deshaun Watson in the NFL. That's enough time for him to be getting to AFC Championship games and Super Bowl appearances and things like that. So we would definitely know if Bill O'Brien is the guy who needs to be with Deshaun Watson. So the time is going to be there. We're going to have enough time to see everything that we're supposed to see. We can't be like, no, we should have gave him just a little bit more time with this person. Or give him a little bit more time. Or give him a break here. Give him a break there. No, we ain't going to have time for that. Because they're going to have enough time, more than enough time, to evaluate and see what is going forward by year 2022. By that time, we should at the very least, have some AFC Championship appearances. I'm not saying they should have Super Bowls. Do I want them to have Super Bowls? Absolutely. But they, at the very least, they have to have AFC Championship appearances. You have to at least appearance in the AFC Championship game and not go up there and lose 30-0. You have to actually be a part of an actual football game and actually play meaningful football in that football game. That's all I'm saying. But, so we have enough time for all that. Like I said, also, Bill O'Brien, now another good thing, Bill O'Brien, this is the guy that you picked. This is the guy that you're friends with. So we don't have this how every year we have, well, it's getting volatile and it's getting nasty between Rick Smith and Bill O'Brien, and they can't coexist, and Bill O'Brien might leave and go to Merriman, or he might get fired. We're not going to have that because this is the guy that you pick. So if he making decisions that you don't want to make, that's your fault. Now, of course, even though they friends, they going to have some different agreements. Of course. They're going to have some things they agree on. They're going to have some things they're going to disagree on. But they're going to be on the same path. So their vision is going to be similar, which means you're not going to have to worry about Bill O'Brien getting a play that he didn't want. Like, you know what, this is the type of style I coach, but you got him, what you get him for. And same thing. I got this guy, but he coaches this style. Why you not utilizing the guy I got? I got you this good talent, but you don't utilize him because that's not. They're going to be on the same page, the same focus. All those things are good. So if it doesn't work, it's on both of y'all. It's on y'all. That's why I say married to the hip, because it's going to be on both of y'all if this doesn't work. That's a good thing. The bad thing, some bad things. One, he was part of the Texan organization already. Now, like I said, Brian Gaines was not my first or second choice. Like I've said before, when it comes to general managers, I can't pick a general manager because I can't tell you if a scout is a good scout or a bad scout because I don't know who they scouted. I don't know who they said was good, who they said was bad. I don't know if they said somebody that was bad that they gave them a good grade on, and the general manager just made a good decision, or the general manager made a bad decision when they actually gave a good grade on somebody that the general manager thought was bad and they turned out to be a Pro Bowler. So that's kind of hard. I don't know. So I don't know. But my thing is, I didn't want anybody that was already part of this organization because it hasn't been looking good draft-wise outside of our first-round picks. Later-round picks, we're going to see after this last draft because Cunningham and Foreman before he got hurt looked it well. But normally our second-round picks, normally our later-round picks, they don't really do too much for me. So I don't know. I don't know what he had his hands in. I don't know. When we drafted Kevin Johnson, did he actually want us to draft DeMarcus Peters? Did he want to actually get Peters and we took Kevin Johnson? Something like that. Only Bob McNair knows. Only Bob and Kyle and Rick, him and Bill O'Brien know that. Because we don't know that as fans. We don't know. Maybe that could be a possibility. He might not want Sufilo. He might be like, hey, take Derek Carr. Hey, take Garoppolo. Hey, don't draft Xavier Sufilo. Like, we don't know. We don't know. We weren't in the room. So we don't know exactly what was said, what was not said. He could have been the person that advocated to draft Xavier Sufilo. But if you decide to bring him back, I think that's not the case. But people make a thing of he was fired by Rick Smith last year. That's why he ended up going to Buffalo to be the assistant GM. I don't make too much about the firing because Rick Smith does have a good track record of firing people. Like, case in point, you let go of Glover Quinn, who's become a Pro Bowl All-Pro safety when you need help in the safety department. You let go of Brandon Brooks and Ben Jones, who when you need help in both offensive linemen, and they both are playing pretty well. I think Brandon Brooks is a Pro Bowler. I don't think Ben Jones has been, but Brandon Brooks has been a Pro Bowler. You let go of AJ Bouye, who's I think is a second team All-Pro. Definitely a Pro Bowler, the second best corner on the best defense in the league, and also the second, also the number one secondary, the best secondary in the league, and you're struggling in your cornerback department. So these are the people that he let go. So who knows? Maybe Brian Gaines is the AJ Bouye, the Glover Quinn, the Brandon Brooks, the Ben Jones of general managers that you decide to let go, but you need to bring them back because they were more important than the people that you let go. And then what you had to replace is, because it's all about it's not about you losing the player. It's all about what you let go. Because people forget, the Chargers had Drew Brees. No Charger fans complaining that they don't have Drew Brees because they have Phillip Rivers. Now, Phillip Rivers is not Drew Brees, but he's still an upper echelon quarterback. He's still a Pro Bowler. More than likely, probably going to end up being a Hall of Fame quarterback. I mean, I'm not saying first ballot Hall of Fame, but the way his numbers are, he's probably end up going to be a Hall of Fame type quarterback. So you don't get mad because you gave up Drew Brees, who's been to a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl, and like Phillip Rivers only been to an AFC Championship game. You don't get mad at that because of what you had to replace. Just like I'm tired of people complaining about one of the reasons why they talk about Rick Smith is Case Keenum. We have Deshaun Watson. And I'd much rather have Deshaun Watson than Case Keenum. Case Keenum has done better than he has done than he was as a Texan. But Case Keenum now is nothing compared to what Deshaun Watson was in 6 games. Are you serious? Are you really seriously here telling me, you U of H fans, that y'all would rather have Case Keenum playing football than Deshaun Watson? If you said that, I don't know what to say to you if you say that. I really don't know. Only thing I can look at you is just, that's all I can do. That's all I can really do. If you say, yes, I'd rather have Case Keenum than Deshaun Watson, I could just, that's all I can do. That's it. But I digress. But back to the bad decisions about the general manager. I want somebody here with a different voice. I don't want nobody that's going to do the same thing. Because like I said, him and Bill O'Brien's married to the hip. Do we really want somebody who's going to pick everybody that Bill O'Brien wants? I mean, I've never been an advocate of firing Bill O'Brien, but do we really want somebody that's going to bring everything? We need somebody with that have the power to be like, no, I'm not doing that. No. And I want somebody with another philosophy, a more cutthroat, you're not producing, so get out of here. You know? Like Kevin Johnson, he's a draft pick. Excuse me, but like Jonathan Joseph, why we keep re-signing Jonathan Joseph? Because when we first signed him, he was his first 2 years of Texas, he was a Pro Bowler. Okay, yeah, he helped our secondary out when our secondary was bad in 2010. He came in 11-12, and he was one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL at that time. Okay, cool, but that was then. This is now. Like, no, Brian Cushing, my boy, but. And Brian Cushing is actually my favorite player on defense. I like Brian Cushing more than I like JJ. He's my favorite defensive player. I like his attitude. But the dude keep hopping steroids. Keep getting suspended. And he's not the same player that he's not the same Brian Cushing that was the Brian Cushing before he had those knee injuries. Before he had those 2 ACL injuries. ACL, he had an MCL injury and broken leg. He's not the same player no more. I mean, you ain't got to cut him, but he gonna have to restructure his contract because he's making too much money. JJ, he fan favorite. Everybody loves JJ. JJ cap number is big now, coming off a back injury and now a leg injury. I still want JJ on the team, but we gotta do some things with that contract. We need to open up some more cap space because since we don't have a first or second round pick, we have to hit hard in the free agency. Our draft is going to be free agency. We have to spend big money. We're gonna have to spend money and possibly strike out. We possibly might have to do what we did with Osweiler, hand a whole bunch of money to somebody just to take a shot because we don't have a first or second round pick. We're gonna have to go after corners and safeties and offensive linemen. We keep saying offensive linemen because we do need 4 offensive linemen because the only offensive lineman that we feel comfortable with is our center Nick Martin. So we do need a guard and 2 tackles. And Nick Martin's coming off of back-to-back injuries. He had a broken foot his rookie year. He got was it a quad? I think it wasn't a quad. It was a calf muscle injury. He got hurt this year, something like that. I know something with his leg. So we got to see about him. But high hopes that he should be back and be playing, because he played pretty well. He's only the offensive lineman to play well. But the thing we need the most is tackles, preferably left tackle, who protects the blind side of Deshaun Watson. Yes, we need the right, and yes, we need 2 guards. But the most important offensive line position, if we want to pick one, will be the left tackle. So we need to get these type of things. We don't have a first or second round pick. We have, I think, $69 million in cap space, but I would like to open up more, because we might have to go out there and buy 2 corners, because you cannot sit up here and roll Jonathan Joseph, Kareem Jackson, and Kevin Johnson as your cornerbacks. You can't. As your starters, you can't. Jonathan Joseph doesn't need to be on this team. Kareem needs to be a safety. And I'm all for letting Kevin Johnson stay on the team and get some more experience. And who knows, maybe the light clicks on. Because like I said, I've never really seen it with Kevin Johnson, but maybe the light clicks on. But you're going to need to bring in 2 corners. Or at the very least, a corner and a safety. I prefer to bring in 2 corners. I actually prefer to bring in 2 corners and a safety. That's my absolute preference. I think that's actually what they should do in free agency, is get secondary, because I don't think there's that many offensive linemen that's worth getting right now as far as free agency. I think it's some players in the secondary that you can get. I'm gonna do a breakdown video of who's available free agent, who I think the Texans should and could target. But those are really my things about this. Because that's my only really bad thing about Brian Gaines, because he used to be part of this organization before. So, is it going to be just the same old thing and we just continue to do the same thing over and over again? Or is he different? I don't know, because like I said, I can't judge a general manager. That's kind of hard, because I don't know who was what. The good thing is I think it'll be a better environment between him and Bill O'Brien than it was with Bill O'Brien and Rick Smith. I don't think it was as volatile as they want to make it seem, but where there's smoke, there's fire. So, like, share, subscribe if you haven't, comment below if you haven't, click that bell to get more videos. I holla.